How is marketing going to evolve now that we're in the age of AI? I've seen a lot of conversations about how AI is going to revolutionize the world of work. A lot of people are talking about marketers are not going to be needed anymore. And of course, that is partly true. There are some marketers who are saying that AI is actually going to help them in their workflow. That is also true, but it is very important to note that AI is going to fundamentally change how we approach marketing. That is what I want to explore in this episode. I deeply believe that this age of AI is going to make marketing very, very difficult. And we're already seeing this with search engine optimization. For a very long time, a lot of companies invested their money into optimizing their work, their blogs for search. Companies were investing a lot of money in keywords so that each and every time someone uses that word, that keyword to look for something, the name of the company comes up first in search results. But now we're at a time where AI is giving people the answers that they're looking for and they don't even have to click on anything. Google has the feature AI Overview that literally gives you the answers to anything. It means that the users do not have to go to your blog post to read about something because AI Overview already gave them the answer. And this has given birth to the zero-click search. The fact that a lot of users are also preferring to use AI chatbots like Lord Perplexity, ChatGPT, it basically means that a lot of effort right now needs to go towards AI search optimization. A lot of users are getting their answers from the AI chatbots. And if you want to be among the winning companies, you need to ensure that your company is actually being recommended or coming up in the results or the answers that AI chatbots are giving users. And if you've used these AI chatbots, you will realize that a lot of recommendations that AI is giving is mostly pulled from the known sources. It's going for the popular media. And this is where I believe that earned media is going to be more important than ever. And this is also something that a lot of marketers have to start thinking about. Influencers, the thought leaders, journalistic media. Over the past few years, a lot of this journalistic media have actually become clickbaity because they fell into the rabbit hole of just wanting clicks and they abandoned their journalism for quite some time. But now we're actually getting to a point where being a thought leader, being someone that is actually respected and expert in their field is going to matter more. Because again, a lot of people are just inundated with a lot of information. Actually, a lot of human beings cannot handle a lot of information. And while a lot of people will tell you that, oh, I can just go ask ChatGPT when I want something, a lot of people also need someone to tell them whether what ChatGPT is telling them is right or wrong. And that's where thought leadership comes in. And this is why we've been seeing that influencing has been changing a little bit. If we take the example of fashion, a few years ago, you would just appear on camera and tell people, oh, this is what I bought. This is a whole of 100 items. That was something that people liked. But right now, you're finding a lot of audiences not interested in that kind of content. And we're seeing kind of fashion influencers that are actually gaining momentum right now. It's those that are combining different things with fashion, like fashion history, fashion and technology. They're just using fashion as a medium to probably teach people or to educate people or to entertain people. And it's actually this kind of influencers who are sort of creating their own universes that are actually going to be the ones that are going to stand out in the age of AI. A lot of conversations that I'm seeing is that, oh, influencers are over right now because anyone can create whatever they want because of AI. But you know, a lot of people are discounting the fact that a lot of human beings are very lazy, and even when you give them all the information they need, a lot of them do not want to break down that information in a way that actually works for them. They want somebody else to do it for them. That's why influencers and thought leaders will always be relevant. Will they always evolve? Absolutely. And if you are someone that wants to keep evolving with the times, it means that you always have to learn what people want and adjust your own content and how to show up with the times. Right now, we're in that point where people don't want vanity. They want more. A lot of people want to feel like they're contributing something. That's why there has been a rise in pressurizing brands and influencers to stand for something, to be involved in activism. Because again, a lot of people in the world, they do not want to actually do the dirty work of creating change or using their voices to speak up, but they want to watch someone who is doing that because it makes them feel like they're already contributing to something good. And this evolution of earned media is exactly what is going to make it harder for a lot of marketers, because it's not going to be enough for you to come up to a journalist or an influencer and tell them, oh, talk about my product. You need to start thinking about how you're going to integrate your product seamlessly into this universe that the influencer and thought leader has created in a way that is actually not taking away from the conversation vision or from the world that they have created. And this is exactly why doing ads going forward is actually going to be one of the hardest things. Because yes, now anyone can create an ad, but to create an ad that converts, because at the end of the day, if you're selling a product and you're advertising it, the advertisement leads to sales. But one thing that is going to actually hinder that is the fact that now we've gotten to a point where there's a lot of ad fatigue. A lot of people are just so tired of ads. When you look at how a lot of people are using Instagram and even how the platform is trying to accommodate that usage, a lot of users do not even want to be on their feeds. They are in the DMs because a lot of people are just tired of seeing ads. The ads are on stories. Right now, while you're swiping through Instagram stories, you're getting 4 ads in between the stories. When you swipe through the feed, you see a post and then after is a sponsored post. When you look at a lot of content of influencers, it's like one sponsored post after the other. And it's not just that people are tired of ads, it's that a lot of brands are just creating bad ads. So you're just interacting with a lot of bad ads everywhere you go. This is just becoming so annoying to a lot of people. Going forward, first of all, your ads have to be very creative. And of course, now there's actually not going to be an excuse because we have AI. You cannot be talking about how AI is going to make everything easier and then also create really bad ads. AI is here to supercharge your creativity. Marketers have to find a way of selling without really selling. This idea of direct selling through ads, it's just annoying because we've just seen a lot of it. And a lot of companies, a lot of brands have just focused on their products. They think that their product is the main character. Well, no, it is your customer that is the main character. And so your ads should not be about the product. It should be about customer or the person that you're targeting. But of course, a lot of companies do not do this because it's too much. It's too much. I just need to sell this product. I just need to tell them to buy it. There is going to be a rise in silent ads. Product placements is one of those examples. I've always wondered why a lot of brands, when they work, especially with a lot of influencers, do not invest in product placement. I always wonder why they insist that influencers take a script that they've written and read out loud and say, oh, this product is the best. Of course, this happens because a lot of the decision makers in a lot of these companies think that if someone is not talking out loud about your product, then it's not actually having any impact. But when you understand psychology, then you know very well that product placement can have a great impact and actually lasting impact. And this idea of silent ads has always worked so well in the film industry. Now we are seeing a lot of the bigger brands partnering up with singers and then they're incorporating their brands, the music videos of the singers. This is actually going to be a much better way of advertising going forward. Even doing silent ads is not going to be easy because for it to work, it means that you need to be a brand that is known in some capacity. This is why I always find it so funny when a lot of marketers start complaining about how, oh, I paid this influencer a lot of money, but they didn't sell anything. But you need to ask yourself, do people even want to buy from your brand? Why should they? This is why going forward, content marketing is actually going to be one of the most important things that a lot of companies have to invest in. For a long time, a lot of brands have thought that this is something that is optional because they can always just do paid ads. But now this is not going to be optional. Investing in your organic content is something that is not going to be optional. It's something that you actually need for you to build a brand. Not for you to sell things to people, but for you to sell the mission and the vision of your company. You need to show why you exist and why you deserve to continue existing in this world. And this is actually going to get really hard because now the barrier for entry into the organic content scene is very low because people can use AI to do whatever they want. That means for you to stand out as a brand, you need to do things that are going to stand out from AI content. This means that you need to have that human touch, and this is something that a lot of brands and companies have been struggling with because a lot of them do not have a personality, because a lot of them don't know how to engage with the people they're trying to reach. They don't know how to engage with human beings. Even if you decide to use AI, you still have to use it in a way that is actually going to touch people. And I did see a piece of news that Starbucks is looking to hire a full-time creator. That just goes to show you that the career of creator is going to be one of the most important things, because brand building is about to be one of the most important aspects of marketing. And something else that that is going to be sort of a headache is content distribution. I've been seeing a rise of a negative sentiment, especially about social media platforms. When it comes to a platform like TikTok, they've really destroyed the user experience so much because they're so busy trying to censor everything that you can't even have a proper conversation, because they don't want people to talk about certain topics, even though those topics are very important because they affect people's lives, because they're experiences of people. And then you're seeing a platform like Instagram that is just full of advertising that you cannot even enjoy content. When you come to YouTube is also getting to this point where they're just putting ads everywhere. Especially if you watch YouTube on TV, you would notice that the ads just too much. You literally start watching something and 1 minute in you have 2 ads. So we're really getting to a point where a lot of users are just getting fatigued from using these platforms. This means that organic content distribution, most especially, is going to be heavily impacted, because you might find that the people you're trying to target don't want to interact with any content on social media. They're just in the DMs trying to hide away, or they go to platforms like Patreon to support the creators they like. They go to Substack, or they go to Discord, where they can create communities from the interests that they already have. Aside from thinking about organic content, you also need to start thinking about how you're going to be distributing your content. This is why I believe that even partnering with thought leaders and influencers is going to be much harder and probably even more expensive, because if you go to an influencer and you're saying, oh, read the script and post it on your platform, they'll just tell you, you can get AI to do that and post on your own platform. Brands and companies need to move away from this idea that you're going to pay someone to promote a product for you. You need to start thinking about collaborating with people, partnering with people. Even think about how you can partner with other brands in your industry, even if you're competitors. Maybe if you come together, you're actually going to help each other. In one of the previous episodes, I tested the collaboration between Oreo and Coca-Cola. We definitely need to see more of those. So right now, instead of thinking about competitor research, think about how you can collaborate with people, how you can partner with people. Because if you think that you're going to do it as a lone wolf, it's not going to be easy and you're going to be easily forgotten. So it's very clear that the future of marketing with AI, it's not going to be easy, and a lot of marketers have to actually start learning what this new age is going to call for. Because if you think you're going to do marketing the way you've always done, you're absolutely done for. You need to be investing in avenues that are going to create long-lasting impact, because if you invest in short term, it means that you're just going to put yourself in a hamster wheel, and before you know it, you're going to burn out. And once you burn out and you can't keep going chasing your short-term impact, it means that once you fall off the wheel, getting back up is going to be harder, and you're going to just push yourself into oblivion.